So we've got a new moon, but more so important, we have our friend Mercury going in another direction.
Yes.
But fortunately not backwards,
But
right?
not backwards, no, thank God. Otherwise you'd throw me out of the studio. No, we have the new moon is Wednesday in the sign of Gemini. And we've been talking about Gemini for the last couple of weeks or so. So I think it's more important. When Mercury, the planet of communication, changes signs, that's where your attention is going to be focused for about a 3-week period. And I think it's important to know that. So for Gemini, as a sign that we're in, Mercury's going into Cancer. That's their second house of money. So it's about the money. It's about making more money. It's about spending your money more wisely. It's all about what can you do to increase the amount of money at the end of your month instead of the amount of month at the end of your money. And
Gotcha.
It's going to take a conscious effort on the Gemini's part to make that happen. It's not just going to fall out of the sky on them. For Cancers, Mercury entering their sign sort of unloosens their tongue. They've sort of been not saying what they really want to say. They've kind of been biting their tongue for the last 3 weeks or so, and that's over starting on Tuesday. And Cancer is literally going to have to rip their fingernails out to get them to stop talking. So, but I think it's important because there's stuff that they really need to say and their partners need to hear. For Leos, this is a good time just to be quiet, just to kind of zip your lip and sit back and observe. Mercury in the 12th house means your own words can end up being used against you, so you really don't want to give anybody any ammunition against you. And it's a good idea just to kind of sit back and observe and not react right away. That doesn't mean that there won't be a time to react, but it's just not right away. You're in the gathering information stage.
Okay.
And all you can do is hurt your own position. For Virgos, it's in the 11th house of hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives, and they're going to count on their younger, because Mercury is always kind of the sign of younger things, younger people either helping the Virgo out, working with the Virgo, performing in a group for the Virgo, but it's going to be younger people who are going to work to get the Virgo what it is the Virgo says that they want to achieve a goal or objective. For Libras, it is in their 10th house of career and public standing. And much like Leo, they can only get into trouble opening their mouths at work. They need to just kind of sit back and see what's coming down. Don't take any action yet because it really hasn't been determined. And for God's sake, don't pick sides because you won't know who the winning side is for about 3 weeks or so. So it's best just to kind of do that Switzerland kind of neutral thing and say,
Gotcha.
oh, yeah, wow, that's awful. No, you're kidding. That kind of stuff without really committing yourself to any kind of course of action. For Scorpio, this energy is in their 9th house of the law. Scorpios have sort of been biding their time the last month or so, trying to figure out what their next game plan is. Well, it's time that figuring out is done, and it's time to take that show on the road and see how it plays in Peoria. So they'll be traveling, they'll be communicating, they'll be researching the law because the law is on your side. Scorpio, when it is, you want to go ahead and use it. For Sagittarians, this energy is in their 8th house of profound transformations. For them, it's more about maximizing an existing resource. It's more about dealing with some fear that had been really nagging you. And when you really look at it in the light of day, it's not nearly as scary as you thought it would be, which is important. And also something new comes to light that helps the Sagittarian heal in one way or another. For Capricorns, this energy is in their 7th house of open enemies and their public image. And they're going to find two things. They're going to find that they have to be careful not to believe their own press because their own press is going to be very favorable. And if they tend to believe their own press and take it too far, there'll be a secret enemy waiting just to take you down a peg. So it's a good time to say, yes, I've achieved all that, but yes, I'm humble, and yes, I can do the next job you want me to do. Hopefully there's more money involved in it. For Aquarians, it is in the 6th house of work. And this is just do your job to the best of your ability. Whatever it is they tell you to do, just say, okay, and do it. There are changes coming on at work around you. Those changes will take between now and November, so it's a good time not to do a knee-jerk reaction, but just to say, okay, what do you want me to do, and then do it, instead of arguing about it, because nothing will really be determined until the October-November time span, so you just want to kind of, that's the energy to kind of go with the flow. For Pisces, it's in the 5th house. I want to have as much fun as I possibly can, so it's a good time for a vacation for them. It's a good time to unleash a creative idea and let it be born. Give it birth, let it come to be, and then watch it take on a life of its own kind of a deal. So it's a very good time. It's a fertile time, a very fecund time for Pisces in general, in both the physical and the esoteric sense of the, what can I create?
Gotcha.
For Aries, it's in their 4th house of home, and this is time to clean up your home, your foundations. There's stuff that's been cluttering around. You've been doing other things. Okay, that's done. It's now time to take a really good hard look at your home and your surroundings and clean them up to make it a more stable, safer place for you to do it. And if you don't want to do the job yourself, hire a young person to do it. It'll be fun for you anyway. And then for Taurus, the last sign, this energy is in their 3rd house of day-to-day living. So they have places to go, people to see, things to do, short distance, short duration travel. I'm afraid your bride's vacation is over. And it's time to get started on things that are going to, where she's going to have to reach out and make some phone calls and do some organization in order to and I'm guessing it's a Christmas wish, get that show back on
Gotta
the
get
road.
it started early.
To get it started now. So it's that kind of thing that requires short distance, short duration travel, and a lot of effective communication. So to try not to step backwards, and don't be afraid to ask for help, because they don't, and they should, because people go, sure, I'll do that for you, much like me. So that's tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the zodiac, with Mercury, the planet of communication, entering the sign of Cancer.
Sounded like pretty good news. We'll see you next
I think it is.
week.
Here's hoping.
We'll do it again.
Always a pleasure.